My name is Kiara, and I've been at Reach for almost 2 years now. I think the Institute has impacted me in a lot of ways. I feel like the biggest thing that I've seen is a change in perspective, just an outlook on life in general that's no longer based solely on my own striving. I think, especially when it comes to being in college and just in this age, you can look around and everyone looks like they're moving so fast. You feel like you have to constantly keep up to speed, but I think it was really cool for me to be able to step back and see the way that God wants to be involved in this season of our lives. I think I used to see him as someone who was invested in my salvation in the past when Jesus came and died on the cross, and he would be invested in my future when I spend eternity in heaven with him, but almost like disinterested on the in-between. But I feel like the Institute has provided a space where I could really see that he's wildly interested and passionate about what I do with my life and how I live, and I just really, that really changes the way that you look at life and job and work and school and anything else in between. I feel like the biggest sense of community that I had in the Institute was in weekly DNAs with Brittany, our leader, and my fellow student Claire. Just getting together, sitting around the Word, and really talking about what's going on in our lives. That's what has left a lasting impact, I feel like, on this year. I feel like I've grown as a leader in a lot of ways that I didn't think leaders needed to grow. I think our culture paints leaders as strong, bold people, and I feel like the things that I've learned most about the importance of leadership has been humility and vulnerability, which were not things that I thought that leaders should be. And just stepping into this community and seeing leaders that would step out in humility and step out and be vulnerable, especially being an intern and thinking, I think there's a lot of insecurity that comes in with being in that space, but then seeing people willing to step out and lead in that way, that is so much more empowering and is something that I hadn't seen before now. The funnest part, honestly, has just been growing and having family in church. It was cool to get to do life and work with people, and at the same time, be opening that space and welcoming God into it. I think it's the way that the church is supposed to be, and it was just really beautiful to live as family on mission. I feel like what I've learned in this season is gonna drastically change the way I approach the rest of life. Whatever career path I move on to, this season has drastically changed the way I look at life as a whole, and so I think, just being able to have that broader perspective is really important.